Hello, my tipsters. Welcome to Daily Tips with Monica. I appreciate you guys for coming on to this premiere. Like I always tell you, I do appreciate you guys' love and support. If you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. If you have not shared me out, if you want to share me out, share me out. You can share me out to all platforms. Um, I hope everybody had a good Monday and had a good night rest. Today is Tuesday, so hey, let's get the day started. Um, what I always do, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get into the devotion. Like I said, I always tell you guys, once again, thank you for coming. Um, what we're gonna talk about today is, guys, is held by the grip of God. Okay. I press on that I may lay hold of that for which Jesus Christ has also laid hold of me. Philippines 3 and 12. Never choose to be a worker for God, but once God has placed his call on you, woe be to you if you turn aside to the right hand or to the left. That's Deuteronomy 5 and 32. There, we are not here to work for God because we have chosen to do so, but because God has laid a hold of us. And once he has done so, we never have this thought, well, I'm really not suited for this. What you are to preach is also determined by God, not by your own natural learnings or desire. Keep your soul steadfastly related to God, and remember that you are called not simply to convey your testimony, but also to preach the gospel. Every Christian must testify to the truth of God when it comes to the call to preach. There must be a agonizing grip to God's hand on your life is in the grip of God for that very purpose. How many of us are held like that? Never water down the word of God, but preach it in its undiluted sternness. Never There must be unflinching faithfulness to the word of God. But when you come to personal dealings with others, remember who you are. You are not some special being created in heaven, but a sinner saved by grace. Brethren, I do not count myself to have apprehended, but one thing I do, I press toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. That is Philippians 3, third chapter, 13th to the 14th verse. So, guys, helped by the grip of God. What this is saying, guys, is if we are called by God, we are not called like we are not called by ourselves. We are called by God because He has His hands on our life. And what it's saying is, don't act on your own will, but act on the will of God. Because it said we are saved by grace. We are sinners. We all are sinners. And we fall short. We all fall short. If like they say, he without sin cast the first stone. It is plenty of us that has sinned and fell short of the grace of God. So don't walk around here like you're perfect, like you have never sinned. But like it says, you sinned, but you're saved by the grace. And God's grace is sufficient. It is sufficient. So when we out here, we called by God, and He has His hands on our life, and we out and we're teaching about God. Let's be that example. Let's be that example. Don't be judgmental. Help that person that is dealing with addiction. Pray their addiction for out of them. Pray for that mother suffering to get her mind right for her children. Pray for her. Instead of judging her, pray for her. Let her know that, you know, if she may be out here in the world doing things that not being a good example for her children. So pray for her. Touch you know how to say um the lady with the issue of blood and she said all I want to do is touch the hem of your garment and I know that I will be healed. It's something like that. But if you ever heard I need you, Lord Jesus, yeah, it says it was a woman with an issue of blood. She was sick for 12 long years. But if she knew, if she touched the hem of Jesus' God's garment, she would be made whole. And then she said, all I need, she said, and she said, I need you, Lord Jesus. And she need God. So we need God. We need God to put his hand on our life so we can be who he wants us to be. We are not called by ourselves. Some people want to act like they call themselves to preach or they call them they got their own hands on their life. We do act like that. We don't act like we are sometimes we don't act like we are saved by his grace and by the blood. We don't. Sometimes we act like we just did it all. We can't act like that. We know if it wasn't for God, like I tell y'all, you better believe and you better come to terms with it. If it wasn't for God on your side, look back at all the things you have went through in your life, good or bad. Think about those things. Think about what God has helped you through. If that's addiction, alcoholism, um, abuse, low self-esteem, depression, anxiety, wanting to suicidal. Look what God has brought you, son. Some people have tried to kill themselves, guys. But God said, no, 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 baby. No, no, no. So when I say, when you look back where all God has brought you from, look back at all those things God has brought you from. You know it wasn't nothing but his grace. You know it wasn't nothing but his mercy. You know it wasn't but his love that he has for you. Yes, we all sin and fall short. We all know that. But what this is saying is acknowledge the fact that if it wasn't for God on your side, you would be lost. I'm going to go ahead and keep it real. If it was not for God on my side, Monica would not be the Monica that I am today. I know it wasn't nobody but God that I have drove home when I was drinking and I drove home drunk. I couldn't see. It wasn't nothing but God that was covered over my life because I drove home completely drunk one day when I was really, really out there in the world. I was drunk and I drove myself all the way home drunk. And I did not have an accident. And I know that was nobody but God, but I never did it again. So guys, um, know that you are a sinner, but you are covered, saved by the grace. And that's by the grace of God. Um, so guys, what we're gonna do now, guys, is we're gonna go ahead. What we're gonna talk about today, guys, is how to take constructive criticism. I'm gonna say this. I'm not doing this to make anyone feel any type of way or put anybody down, but I just want, we all have to have an open mind. We all have to have an open heart. And sometimes when people tell you something or come to you and say things, sometimes we do say things that sometimes can become off as a little harsh. But you have to be open to constructive criticism. You have to open your mind and your heart to constructive criticism. Because sometimes people say things to help you, not to harm you. So because they love you so much, they see how far you can go if you open your mind and open your heart to be more. And instead of just staying where you at, it'll open your mind to more. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to help you get successful. So guys, that's what we're going to talk about today. Um, is how to deal with constructive criticism. The first steps on accepting constructive criticism. Is it hard for you to accept constructive criticism? No one likes to be made to feel inferior by anyone, like your boss or even a friend. But constructive criticism is intended to help you, not damage you. Here are some tips that can help you accept constructive criticism. First thing is listen respectfully. When a person says something to you negative, yes, you automatically go on the defense and just focus on the part that was critical of the discussion. You might be ready to jump on the conversation and deal with the negative point that the person was saying instead of waiting to hear the speaker truly intend to say what they need to say. It is best to allow a person that is speaking to you get it all out. Ask only questions for clarity. Give the person a chance to fully explain their concerns that they have. Try not to tune out the points you disagree. Try to tune out the points you disagree with, while staying focused on the entire message. Instead, make a mental thought to address the negative comments, and then when it is your turn to speak, you speak. That way, the person who is speaking to you will um, know that you're willing to allow them to get their whole message out before you quickly respond. So listen respectfully, guys. Listen to if someone comes to you with constructive criticism or wanting to help you with something, listen and see what all they got to have to say. Don't automatically go on the defense and be like, well, and just fly off the handle. We can't be that way. If you want people to uh help you truthfully and you want people to be real with you, you're gonna have to open your mind, you're gonna have to open your heart, you're gonna have to know that they trying to tell you something that can help you. So don't automatically when someone's speaking to you, don't be over talking them, or don't tune them out, or just focus on what all negative they're saying, but you're not getting the whole message. They may have said a couple of negative things, but they also could have, while you're thinking about that negative or going on the defense about what the negative thing they said, they could also been putting out some pointers on how to help you with it, or as well they could be pointing out some positive things about about what you're what they want to help you with. So don't automatically go on the defense. Listen to a person. Let them get whatever they have to say to you out. Um, Especially if they're coming to you wholeheartedly and wanting you to win. You know, so don't be quick to respond. Just listen. And then if you like, if you have like it says, if you just ask a few, if you have to have clarity about some things, then ask a few little questions for clarity. But don't be rude, cussing, over talking a person just because, you know what I'm saying, you may not like what they say. But listen to them and listen to the whole message. It can help you if you open your mind and open your heart to what they're saying. You can't just automatically go on the defense because you thinking someone is attacking you. No one is attacking you. They just trying to show you real love. And if you can't be, if I, you know what I'm saying, if you can criticize other people, you think people, if you can come to someone respectfully and want them to listen to you and your opinions, why you can't do the same? That's what I'm gonna say. Why you can't do the same? Why you can't listen to a person respectfully and let them get their message out and to help you? But you could come to someone else and say to them what you want to say and get your message out. But you feel like no one could constructively criticize you. Okay, guys. Number two, be sure you understand. When you're accepting constructive criticism, you will have to understand fully what is being shared with you. You don't have to take blame or responsibility for something that does not seem clear. After you hear what the person has to say, take a few minutes and ask questions or make some comments to confirm that you're fully understanding a situation that is being explained to you. Sometimes a little back and forth can ensure that both people are hearing the same message. So be sure when someone is giving you constructive feedback that you're listening to understand, not listening to respond. I am bad about that. Me, sometimes I can one thing about me you better learn. If I'm wrong, I can admit when I'm wrong and I can apologize. And when you know what I'm saying, so but sometimes I do have issues when it comes to um letting the person talk and listening to understand, not listening to respond. So make sure you're listening to understand. Listen to what they have to say that can help you to become better. So listen to understand. If you have to ask a few questions to clarify what they're trying to say, so you both can, like, are you saying that I need to, like with the shirt, do I need to, like not wear dresses or something that are not too tight. I just need to wear flowy dresses so it can be more presentable to me. Or like someone has gave me feedback about my YouTube channel. They was like, some days when I do my daily tips, I'm not gonna speak no names or nothing. They said sometimes when I do my daily tips, they said sometimes they feel like I have the fire. Then sometimes they say I act like you know what I'm saying. I'm just doing it. But what they told me is to keep my audience or to keep people coming back. I'm gonna have to give that fire every time. So I was like, when I listened to understand instead of listening to respond, I understood what they was talking about. They was like, you don't want to lose your audience by 1 minute I'm good, the next minute I don't really want to do this, or I'm tired and I'm just doing this just to be doing this. Like they say, if you want to get your message out, what they're telling me is, if I want to be inspire people, if I want to get my message out there, I have to come with the fire every time, because people are inspired by what I talk about. So if I want to keep my audience, then I'm gonna have to come with the fire every time. You know, so be sure you understand what that person is talking about. Don't just assume, understand. And if you need to ask questions, ask them questions. The third thing is acknowledge the speaker's point of view. If you're listening to a person giving their concern, you may disagree inwardly and eagerly waiting to respond. But put yourself in the other person's shoes. They may feel uncomfortable talking to you about it. Would you respect the person if they said nothing? To accept criticism is to see the other person's goal in offering it. Is no one is perfect. And the person who may be pointing out something must care about you. So Acknowledge a person's point of view. If they have a concern or they're giving you constructive feedback, they're not doing it to Jayla, go somewhere, go potty. Um, if you I'm sorry, I don't children, but as I was saying, if you are listening to a person give you constructive feedback, don't automatically be so eager to respond. Listen to what they say. Have an open heart. Say that this is my friend or this person that coming to me sees the goodness that I'm doing, but they want to see me do better. No, I am not perfect. No one is perfect. No one is perfect. So that person is telling you this to help you. So don't be so offended. Then go on the defense. Oh, you coming against me. They're not coming against you. They're not coming against what you're trying to build. They're trying to help you. They're trying to help you build. They're trying to help you keep people. They're not trying to criticize you. They're giving you their constructive feedback to help you because they see you how you can be better. They're trying to help you be better. They're trying to get you where you need to be. So you can be successful. We have to open, I'm be honest, we have to be open-minded. We really do when it comes to people giving us feedback. No, everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody ain't gonna like what you put out there in this world. But if someone comes to you with a positive attitude, when it comes to you telling you, I'm saying this out of love and I'm saying this out of respect for you, acknowledge that. Acknowledge that this person, they may be afraid to tell you because they scared that you may just fly off the handle and cuss them out because of the fact they're trying to help you out or and try to build you up. So don't be so against people giving you constructive criticism. Don't be like that. Don't be so against that. It'll help you grow. It'll help you become something. Now, that's the third thing. This is the fourth tip. The fourth tip is don't become defensive. Every one of us wants to be accepted and appreciated for the person that we are. We may become embarrassed or ashamed that another individual may see a behavior or mistake we have made. That is why it's sometimes difficult for us to come across as one who can accept criticism. But having an open mind to learning and growing is a great characteristic in a job or relationship. Don't feel like you have to protect your turf and go into defense mode just so you can can make yourself right. Always stay humble and having a positive and always have a positive mindset. So don't be defensive. Don't be like, oh my God, you coming for me. You coming for everything that I got. I worked hard for everything I got. You ain't finna put my stuff down. But it's not about they trying to put your stuff, your content or whatever. Well, we on right now we're on YouTube, so they're not trying to put your video down. They're not trying to put your platform down. They're trying to help your platform. They're trying to tell you what the people want. You have to listen and understand what the people want. See, when you're on a platform, sometimes you have to listen to what the people want. So that's why sometimes it's good to have that person that can give you constructive feedback and tell you what is needed. And they're doing it because they love you. They want to see you grow. They want you to become this big time YouTuber that everyone is talking about. So don't become defensive. Don't be mistreating the person that comes to you and talk to you about what about you know, the feedback, giving you feedback that can help you. Don't feel like they coming for you or trying to tear down what you build up. They're not doing that. But you just have to be open minded enough that it's okay for people to tell you something, and you just open your mind and see, well, maybe I have been doing that. Maybe I can change some of that instead of automatically going into a defense mode to where you want to tear other people down. You want to get on YouTube and make a YouTube video about them. People have done that just because of constructive criticism, wanting to help someone. So you get mad and go on defense and talking about, I'm gonna talk about this person like a dog, or go against them because they want to see you win. But you can't open your mind enough to see that this person is actually trying to help you. I understand some people feel, well, I don't need the help, but guess what? You don't know everything. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know everything. And if anybody give me some constructive feedback that can help me, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna apply it. Because guess what? I want to win. So if you want to win, take that constructive criticism and apply it. Nobody asking you to change what you got going on, but accept the constructive criticism. Not change it, but make it better. Okay, the fifth thing is avoid escalating tension. When having a discussion, setbacks, or limits in a person's actions, the tension does escalate. When we feel like we are being overly criticized or misunderstood, it becomes easy for us to bring up past issues or current problems that has been overlooked. Of course, accepting constructive criticism does not mean that you have to let yourself be belittled. But someone who is really offering you constructive feedback will not do those things. Look for the positive aspects of the feedback without trying to take it personal and trying to make it a conflict. And don't be about tick for tack. So avoid escalating tension. That means when someone comes to you and they give you constructive feedback, don't try to create tension between you guys. And don't be mad at them trying to point out like what they doing wrong. Cause like we could be at a job, guys, and they be like, your boss might come to them and be like, yes, Monica, I see that you be late every day, and I'm just wondering, were you okay? Well, which I'm gonna say blogs come to work late every day, and she don't do no work, but you don't say nothing to her. But you just don't know though. He might be getting ready to get rid of blogs. He might be getting ready to get rid of blogs, but since you are a hardworking person and they just trying to check on you to make sure you're doing well. But see, some of us ain't like this. Some of us, we get offended, we offended, and we're gonna cause tension, we're gonna throw shade, we're gonna come against you. And we can't be like that. We're gonna accept constructive, want people to give you feedback on something. You can't be that way. Now, I'm not telling you to allow people to belittle you. You know when someone is belittling you, making you feel less than. But if someone is actually trying to help you grow and help you become more successful, accept that. Don't get so offended. Don't start trying to start drama with the person just because you are offended. Don't try to do that tit for tat. Well, you do this, I'm going to do that. We don't have to be that way. We can just be open minded and have an open heart to accept what this person is saying. And if it helps you, let it help you. It could change your life. I know I say that a lot, but it's the truth. When people give try to help you, and they love you and they want you to grow and want you to be good and they recognize the goodness in you, you think they really going to belittle you? No, they not. They're gonna actually say, I love you and I love your channel. I love all the stuff you put out there. But sometimes I feel like when you do your topics like me, when you do your daily tips, sometimes you be all over the place. And sometimes you need to stay on that subject instead of going this place, this place, and that place. Because you kind of lose your audience that way. So what you trying to say? You telling me that my daily tips ain't helping nobody? You trying to tell me how to do my channel? You trying to come against my channel? No. That person's just telling you that sometimes you are you are losing people with your top when you go from this place to the next place when you're doing your topics. It's like you're 1 minute you're talking about this, then the next minute you're talking about that. But you need to stay on the topic that you're trying to speak about. That's what that person was saying. They said they love your channel. They love my children. They love the daily tips. But I need to stay on topic. The sixth thing is follow up with positive actions. After accepting criticism graciously, accept the responsibility that something has to change that can help you improve. Some people will accept the criticisms, but they never make adjustments. But if you follow up with the correct action, it will show others that you know how to accept criticism and can actually be put it to good use. This will make your image better. So, um, after you have accepted the criticism and you not upset and you just say, well, thank you for giving me your feedback. I appreciate it. So what you do is you evaluate it and you look at what they're saying and how you feel about it. If you feel that what they're saying is genuine, because I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of times that I have looked back at my daily tips. I'm gonna be honest. I look back at my videos and I listen to my videos because I want to be better. So if a person tell me there's something about my video that was kind of off or that wasn't right, I go back and I look at it and I be like, and I have an open mind about it, and I be like, that shit was right about that, or he was right about that. So what I do is I try to get better at it the next video, and I try to apply it in the future. But some people, like I said, will not accept criticism. They will not accept it. They'll just continue to do they what they want to do. But what's going to eventually happen, and I'm going to keep it real with you, you're going to lose your audience. And they're going to go to the person that's really putting that content out there, that really is going to stay on the topic, going to stay at focusing on uh, what that good content. Because no, and how can I put this nicely? And the person that is giving you criticism, they eventually going to fall back away from you because the fact that you're not being open minded. You're not being open minded, and they just telling you that because they love you and they want you to see you succeed. But you feel like you know so much. Then hey, ain't no use to me. I should have never said anything. And then when you come back to them and they be like, well, you know what I'm saying, girl, what do you think about how I did? Well, girl, I'm not gonna say anything because the last time I told you, you didn't even apply it, and look what happened. So sometimes it's best to follow up with a positive action. So try to change. If it needs to be changed, change it. It's not asking you to change your whole aspect of your content. What it's saying is something in that video or something going on in your life or a job or whatever, something is not working. So go back to the drawing board and make and fix it. and fix it or tweak it, whatever you want to call it. But you always want to have a good image. So make sure you're able to accept constructive criticism, because you don't want to come off as a person that knows it all and feel like they knows it all, and then people ain't gonna want to come to you, and then it will make you have a bad image. You don't want a bad image. So guys, these are the daily tips. I am going to recap. So what we talked about today is steps on accepting constructive criticism. The first thing is listen respectfully. Um, when someone is talking to you and they wanting to tell you something, give you some feedback, listen respectfully. Listen and don't respond. Listen and accept what they're saying, and then give your feedback. Um, be sure you understand. So make sure when someone is telling you something that you fully understand what they're saying, and not be on the defense and just pointing you just looking at the negative, but you're not understanding the whole thing that they're trying to tell you, or the whole story. Three, acknowledge the speaker's point of view. Acknowledge that it may have been hard for them to come to you and try to give you constructive criticism, or if you ask for that constructive criticism, but it may be hard for them to keep it real with you because they're maybe afraid that you're going to be mad at them. So acknowledge that speaker point of view and let them and know that that person cares about you enough to keep it real with you. That's all I'm gonna say. Fourth, don't become defensive. Don't go on the defense automatically thinking that someone is coming against you. It's not that. They just want you to be successful. They love you enough to tell you the truth. The fifth thing is avoid escalating tension. So when someone has gave you constructive criticism and you may not like it, it may hurt your feelings, don't try to create tension. Don't try to do that tit for tat. Don't try to do all that drama just because you mad at the time. Avoid that. Take the constructive criticism and try to apply it if it helps, and especially if it helps you. Sixth thing is follow up with positive actions. Um, when you accept the constructive feedback graciously, um, know that things have to be changed for you to be successful. And so you will have to accept that criticism and make the adjustments that are needed to be made. So these are the daily tips, guys. I hope you guys got something out of it. Um, because like I'm gonna be honest, like sometimes it is hard for us to accept when people are trying to give us some good feedback that can help us when it comes to building ourselves up, or building our YouTube channel, or building being a, like say for instance you're owning a business. You want that feedback because you want to be better at, if you want to be better at something, you will want feedback. Don't automatically think what you're doing is good, because sometimes people don't like it. And so you have to have an open mind to constructive criticism. You have to have an open mind to constructive criticism, knowing that no one is saying that something's wrong with what you're doing, but know that I'm helping you to do better. That's all what it's saying. So, um, I thank each and every one of you guys that has came on here this morning. I appreciate you guys' love, and I appreciate you guys' support. You don't have to spend your morning with me. You don't. But I'm gonna let you know I appreciate it. If nobody tell you today that you love them, that I'm sorry. If no one told you today that they love you, know that I love you. Know that God loves you. Know that. And I appreciate you. And God appreciates you too. Um, so guys, I got a couple of announcements. Um, the first announcement is that Wanston. Well, first shout out to the TBT squad. That is Yooo, it's your boy Leo. Let's it's me Wanston, yes, Hunni, the McRae Kingz, and let's talk about it, Anita. We all, with me included, are the TBT squad. If you're new to the channel, that means truth be told. Every morning we come to you guys with the truth. We gonna tell it, and we're not offending anybody. We're just trying to inspire and encourage people. That's what it all is about. Um, so shout out to the TBT squad. The announcement is that it's me, Wanston, and Leo anniversary is coming up. They'll be this week. They'll be married for 5 years. So congratulations, happy anniversary, Leo and Wanston. Um, they will be celebrating on Thursday on Wanston's channel. I think 6-7 p.m. Eastern time, and on Leo's channels Friday I think 6 or 7 Eastern time. I'm gonna have to get the time right. I'm sorry. Um, then on next week, the McRae Kingz, they will be celebrating their 2 year anniversary. They are still newlyweds. Um, on the 30th, I think at 7 p.m. So happy anniversary, Tramel and Joseph. Um, as well, guys, we will be doing another panel on July the 24th. We will have a moderator, guys. The moderator will be Blogs and Fiction. So I can't wait for this to happen. I just want you guys to know I am excited about it. It will be here on this channel, on my channel. So guys, look forward to that. Um, as well, guys. I will be coming out with a mukbang, and I want you guys to know I will come out probably with another video of Jamel is playing baseball. So I want you guys to see my baby play baseball. So y'all will see a video of me on my baby first baseball game today. Today is Jamel's first baseball game. We thought everything was going to be canceled, but it's not. So thank God he's able to play baseball and he can get some of this weight off. Um, so guys, thank you again for coming. If you want to bless this channel, you can cash out me at J&J Mom 18. And if you have not checked out my feature channel is The Real Shae Love. I hope I have not missed out on any more announcements. What are we going to do now, guys? Um, I'm gonna leave you guys with a quote that I always end today. Give you each day. It says, "You will find as you look back upon your life that the moments when you have really lived are the moments when you have done things in the spirit of love." And that's by hearing Drummond. So, guys, don't let anything or anyone steal your joy. If they didn't give it to you, they can't take it away. So, guys, what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to go to It's Me Wanston's channel and we're going to see about the good news and the positive things that he has to talk about today. Thank you guys for coming, and y'all have a happy Tuesday. See you tomorrow.